My name is Dr. Nancy V. Brown.
Thank you. And where are you from?
So I'm originally from Costa Rica, but I live in Gwinnett County, Lawrenceville, Georgia.
Okay, great. Can you please tell me about your mental health experience and your story?
Okay, so I'm a survivor of child sexual abuse. I've been through a lot of different traumas, had to go through depression, and I'm a survivor of suicide at the age of 13. Unfortunately, my sister, one of my sisters, she was also a child sexual abuse survivor, and she lost her life to suicide in 2020, dealing with depression and anxiety and just the overwhelming stress and depression that the trauma brings on. My pain led to purpose because I was able to become a counselor, a peer support specialist, and a holistic life coach. So I've just really focused on advocacy, and that's one of the things that NAMI has been able to do for me.
Well, thank you for sharing your story. I do apologize for your sister, but I'm glad that you are still with us here today to share that story. Can you elaborate more on your involvement with NAMI and how it's impacted your life?
So one of the things that NAMI's done for me is I've been able to be involved in community. It's allowed me to find a community where I'm not alone. I've spoken to other survivors who are also standing up and advocating for mental health support services. I've been able to get education. I've taken a lot of different trainings. I've been able to learn how to better tell my story, how to tailor my story, what groups to tell my story, and how regarding what type of advocacy we're doing, what the impact is. That's been very, very rewarding for me. I've been able to help families. When I tell my story, a lot of times I've gone to addiction clinics and hospitals sharing my story underneath, with the support of NAMI. And that has really, really been helpful because, again, they've trained me on how to better support those people. And when I leave there, it just feels very rewarding. They let me know that they thank me. They let me know that my story was impactful to them. And I feel like I'm walking in purpose doing that. But again, NAMI has just been an incredible part. Meeting people who are also survivors, meeting people who are advocating, and the fact that we're really, really trying to make sure that there's funding and support services for people who need mental health services.
That's wonderful. And I really do appreciate your involvement in the things that you do with NAMI Georgia. If you had to tell your legislators anything, you have your own experience, you've worked with NAMI Georgia, what would you tell them about mental health and it's important for mental health policy?
So I do a lot of work in both Gwinnett and Atlanta. So I would say, if I'm dealing with Gwinnett and I'm speaking to Sue Hung and Ms. Nabila Islam Parks, and also in Atlanta, if I'm dealing with Scott Holcomb and Sally Harrell, I would say to them that mental health is not a luxury. It's necessary and it's a human right. And definitely that Georgia needs to increase funding, especially in the area of peer support. Peer support specialists do not nearly get paid as much as they should to share their story, and their story really does matter. Not everyone ends up being able to afford college, or some people, some peer supports come in at a later stage of life and they're not going to, probably go through the process of going back to school, but their story is really powerful and they've been doing heavy duty work. So I just really would like to see some funding increase in that. Some community-based mental health programs, more community-based mental health programs, and trauma-informed crisis alternatives in the area of jails and for survivors of abuse. Investing more in prevention and recovery. That's an area that's really, really important and not just the punishment when we're talking about jails. And we need, our leaders to really break generational cycles and restore hope. So peer support really does matter.
I think all of those are great. And thank you very much for doing your research and having a lot to give. And I definitely think they will appreciate hearing some of those things from you.
Thank you. I love NAMI. I'm so happy to be a part of the family and just continuing to look forward to our growth together as a team.
Thank you very much for joining me here today. Would you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I just want to encourage people. Everybody has a part that they can play in this. So if you see an area that needs support, just join us and share. We're always looking to grow. We're always looking to be a very inclusive community. There are people from different ethnicities, different backgrounds, different religious backgrounds. And so really the point is to really support mental health initiatives and really help bring down the stigma around mental health so that we can get rid of that shame and we can help save lives.
That was really great. Well, thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you. All right.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.